How unexpected was it? I mean, did you just show up feeling like, oh, okay, I'm here to support my friend, we're doing this like fun thing or whatever, but it sounds like you turned a corner on a lot of these things that you were kind of going through.
My name is Karin Myerson, and I am a retired occupational or environmental health RN. And I worked in taking care of all of our healthcare workers at a big healthcare facility in Maryland. I got involved with I Ain't Dead Yet probably 3 years ago with the Thriver Parade, with the actually, it was a bucket list parade that Julie had organized and invited all her friends. Met Julie about 8 years ago, and we've been friends all along. And this was just sort of an opportunity to travel together and do something really fun. We all have life challenges, whether they were, it's a relationship or the end of a relationship, which is what I was going through. That came at a time in my life that I said, really now? But it happened. And then had a little bit of a health issue, which lots of people experience too, that affected me very physically. So that was one of my trepidations about doing the parade, was the walking. I ended up having 2 hip replacements.
Can you talk about now, that you've become part of this movement more officially? You mentioned that making joy a part of your life as an active thing that you're seeking out, that has become really important to you after having this experience. What are some of the ways that you feel that the organization, is able to bring that to people?
One, obviously, we had a parade, which was just a lot of fun to join in on. But it was more than the parade. It was the authentic way that the people that were there were engaging with you. And it was okay. And I've always known, because of, my own professional background, that people are going through things all the time. And, you do all the standard things, you think positive thoughts, you get therapy, you do sorts of things. But the difference is with Addie, it's just focused on joy. And that's a concept that is so important to healing, to feeling that you can take that next step and you can move forward and level up with whatever you're doing. And I think that approach is something that a lot of wellness programs and things, they focus on sort of the traditional things, but focusing just on how do you get joy in your life and how inspiring it is, and that it's actually an intentional decision. Once you feel it and you remember it, you're like, geez, I never want to let that go again.
Right. Right. Yeah, I feel like people can write it off. We've talked a little bit about like, joy being this like frivolous thing, or just like finding ways to want to celebrate and like
Yeah.
want to dance every day. Like we feel like that's almost extraneous to like everything else going on, but it really is a necessary thing that we need to be, embracing every single day.
Michael, I think it's a skill you learn too, because you're going through and you're doing everything and you think and then you just go, wait a minute, I need to lift myself up a little bit. I need to wake up in the morning, and every morning I look in my mirror and I go, it's going to be a great day. Some of the days are great and some of the days are great, but it's it becomes part of what you do when you experience it and you share it with people. There's surviving, which is something we're all doing with the things that, challenge us in our lives. But thriving is different. It's getting through. And sometimes you have to just be in survival mode. There's no question about it. But when you start moving into just seeing little moments of joy and saying, geez, that felt really good, that helped me level up to another place. I think to me, that's thriving.
having these little glimmers that we talk about and being able to find joy that means as much to you as the big stuff in the small stuff, that can be just as significant in getting you through the days where you just have to survive.
And I think what I want, people to sort of take away too is that joy is, you find joy in moments, and you find joy in little things that you do, and you find them in experiences that you have. It's not about, spending a lot of money or buying things. It's really about just getting in touch with yourself. And what do you step back and look at and say, wow, that made me really feel joyful today?
Is there anything that you keep coming back to as almost like a mantra, or like a, like what is your reliable source of joy that you find on a lot of those days?
The one thing that I love to do is garden. Gardening is sort of a metaphor for life, because your garden can be really messy and have all kind of crazy things going on in it, just like your life. What I like about gardening is I can put some time into it and just lose myself in the moment and accomplish something. And doing something, whatever that is for you, whether it's gardening, whether it's reading so many pages a day in a book, whether it's going for a walk, whatever that is for you, that gives you an accomplishment feeling, which I think then sort of translates to joy.
Yeah. With gardening, it's
Yep.
great because you get the season of you prepare, and then you put in the work, and then you have to wait, and then you get, a harvest, or you get to see the flowers bloom. And I think that is,
Yeah.
it's an important lesson in, like, the delayed gratification can be really valuable.
And it can be a momentary gratification where right now I just put in a new garden and it's got bird feeders in it. So all my sunflower seeds are falling to the ground. I have sunflowers out in my garden now. They're like 3 or 4 feet high. But it's also like over a long period of time, things don't happen quickly, because even in my gardens, I look back and I say, wow, what did these look like 5 years ago?
Yeah.
And, because you're always like, oh, I want this to be really good. But sometimes you just need to stop and reassess and say, where was I a month ago? Where was I, 6 months ago, a year ago, 5 years ago, 10 years ago? And give yourself the grace and the credit for where you've evolved to. And it's not a straight line. It's leveling up. It's step back, 2 steps forward, 1 step back. That's just life.
If you were explaining what Addie is and what Addie has been for you to somebody else who has maybe never heard of it, or doesn't understand the idea of, like, this crew, what is like a 2 sentence description that you would give them?
It is finding opportunities with your crew, your friends, or your friend, or your family, whoever it is, and just taking the time to be authentic with each other, and honest and real, and allowing yourself to feel joy. It's really intentional to allow that to come in, and not always be focusing on the problems all the time. Focus on what feels good for you right now. I mean, a lot of the um, focus and energy that emanates off the people that when I'm engaged with this crew, because these are incredible people. They're all very different, all very different approaches to things. And their whole focus is just, how do we find joy? How do we have fun? How do we intentionally plan and share with people how important this is? And like I said, I've been involved with a lot of wellness activities, and they're good. But this is just a click different, and it just allows you to just expand yourself in a way that you don't really sometimes expect will happen.
Yeah.
And in an event like a parade like that, and just seeing the energy and feeling it and all the smiles on everybody's faces, it was an incredible experience.
What do you look forward to as Addie continues to develop, both for yourself and for the program? What are your hopes for the future?
I hope that this program, which I think is led by a phenomenal core group of people that I really admire, and know that it's really based on research and it's based on experience, actually will become an adjunct to programs. I think that it's just a piece of the pie that once you click it in, it'll just jumpstart things. And I'm thinking about my experiences with, helping people at work who are, struggling with issues all the time, and all the good things that organizations do for them. That this is just a piece that just sort of puts the cherry on the cake. It's a very different connection that people can make with each other, that you just don't think about, bringing people together to do something fun
Yeah.
and joyful.
From the event you attended, or from your involvement with Addie to this point, have you made any unexpected connections with anybody that has been particularly strong or particularly memorable?
Well, within the crew group that we initially started this with, I feel like I have deeper understandings of people, because, as you're a friend and you do social things together, you're still, you're yourself, and you're authentic. But to do something sort of incredibly just fun and inspirational takes your relationships to a different level. It's experiencing fun with people that was just different. And I don't really know how to explain it yet. I'll keep thinking about it.
Okay, I actually do have one more question. The
Okay.
event's coming up in October. Will you
Right.
be there?
Yes.
Are you bringing anybody, or are you encouraging anybody to come along with you?
Yes, I am. I'm doing my best. Who's on my guest list? Well, I've got a couple of siblings that I'd like to engage, because I think they would just love it. And I'm also sending it out to some coworkers that I worked with over the years, to just share this and, encourage them to attend something like this and get it started.
It's like you said, I mean, it makes these connections that you already have, like, so much stronger in a very unusual and kind of inexplicable way. And so I feel like with both of those groups of people, that's probably a valuable thing to do.
Exactly. I'll be interested to see how it feels after having the first experience.
Yeah.
And I think that the other unexpected thing that happens when you do these parades are the people that are just lining the streets, that just join in, because they just see how much fun you're having.
Right.
And it's such an inclusive event. People feel excited and, want to just join in and have fun. Well, I don't know if I'll wear the pink cowboy hat. I might have to come up with something else, but,
Right.
who
Right.
knows?
A new look for round two.
Yeah.
Have to switch it up somehow.
Well, I look forward to seeing you there.
Thanks again, Karen. I really, really appreciate it.
Oh, my pleasure.
See you soon.
Bye.
Bye.